The concept of an exclusive jet for personal use instead of a shared commercial flying aircraft started to develop in the 1950s, quickly becoming one of the preferred methods of traveling for many celebrities and business people that wanted speed and comfort all in one. Today, we're going to delve into the history of the first private jets and how they came to be so famous so quickly. Officially, the first private jet to be launched was the Lockheed JetStar in 1961, a relatively large aircraft for private jets that could carry up to 10 passengers and 2 crew people. It was a 4-engine quadjet that Lockheed developed originally for a U.S. military contract, but it was switched to private use later on, eventually becoming famous for both. This was Lockheed's only ever business jet. It remained in production until 1980 with 202 aircraft built. But while it was the first private jet to exist, it certainly wasn't the first successful one. But before we get to the private jet that really made it into the mainstream, we have to mention the North American Rockwell Sabreliner that initially was built following the request of the United States Air Force for a plane for its utility trainer experimental program. The civilian variant made its first flight in September 16, 1958, and received its airworthiness certification from the Federal Aviation Administration in 1963. It had a capacity for 5 to 7 passengers, 2 crew, powered by 2 Pratt & Whitney J60P 3 turbojet engines with a maximum speed of 550 miles per hour and a range of 2,500 miles. More than 800 Sabreliners were built between its production years of 1959 and 1982. But the first truly popular private jet was the Learjet 23. Bill Lear was an American businessman and inventor who saw the potential in the market for a small, fast business jet in the early 1960s. When FFA-P-16 prototypes crashed for the second time during experimental tests, the manufacturer decided they were unsuitable for production and abandoned them, but when Bill Lear took a closer look, he realized he could make a private jet inspired by some of the aspects of these failed ground attack jet fighters. He acquired the designs and patents for these aircraft and made the first popular private jet, the Learjet 23. So this aircraft became the true definition of a business jet since it was small, fast, and easy to maintain, which made it more suitable than the previously mentioned Jetstar. The image was just as important since the brand became so popular that celebrities and VIPs wanted to be seen flying this aircraft. Among the first celebrities to acquire a Learjet was Frank Sinatra, who would use it with his friends to fly between cities to move fast between performances. And when Sinatra gave Elvis Presley his Learjet for his wedding, he was so impressed he bought his own. This was an all-metal construction aircraft whose design included a retractable landing gear and a low wing, with a capacity for 6 to 8 passengers and a cruise speed over 500 miles per hour. And despite being involved in a crash in 1964, the FAA determined the aircraft airworthy, but sadly, in that time period, pilots lacked enough training to handle such high-performing and fast jets, so within the first 3 years of operation, 23 out of the 101 Learjets built crashed. But still, the production of the Learjet 23 carried on until 1966 with over 100 aircraft delivered, which for the time were great numbers, but they quickly moved on to the Learjet 24 and 25, which sold 259 and 369 units each. In 1967, Learjet merged with Gates Aviation, but they continued making the even larger Learjet 28 and its long-range counterpart, the Learjet 29, and by 1990, Bombardier acquired Learjet and continued to develop the models. By 2022, Learjet marked its touchdown after 60 years of operation and around 3,000 aircraft deliveries, a plane that started its life as a failed fighter jet but became a legendary aircraft when many didn't think it had that potential. The modern-day private jet industry owes a lot of their innovative technology to Bill Lear for his determination to create this pioneering aircraft. This was all for today. If you liked the video, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to Big Aviation for more.